much, Madam Chair. Madam Secretary, we've discussed previously a world-class consortium led by the University of Maine in floating offshore wind technology. I have worked with the university for many years on this project. I'm very excited about it. The university is pioneering a new era of energy independence by harnessing powerful deepwater offshore winds through one of the Energy Department's offshore wind demonstration projects. The advantage of offshore wind is you can place the turbines far enough offshore so you can't see them from the shore. And we're working with, the university's working with our fishing industry to make sure we're not interfering there. But once completed, this project, which is known as Aquaventus, will deploy the nation's first floating deepwater offshore wind turbines off the coast of Maine. And in my state alone, the offshore wind industry has the potential to support an annual average of more than 2,000 jobs, which is very exciting. I want to urge you to focus on this kind of technology, the floating deepwater offshore wind technology, which is being developed at the University of Maine, in addition to the work the department's doing on conventional fixed-bottom offshore wind projects. How is the department prioritizing the advancement of domestic innovative clean energy technologies, particularly in the floating offshore wind space?
Yes, thanks for this, too. I share your enthusiasm about offshore wind, and the University of Maine, honestly, has been doing some amazing work, not just in offshore wind, but in materials, and, you know, it's you've got a great university there. We're excited both about offshore and fixed bottom. Offshore, I mean, Senator Feinstein knows this too, will be particularly relevant for the Pacific coast as well, since we have there's such a steep drop in the shoreline. It's not graduated like it is on much of the Atlantic coast. So the technology that is being developed, and that it will be the first offshore wind platform everyone will be watching and learning from. I just came from an offshore wind conference on the Atlantic in New Jersey, where the offshore wind world was there looking at both these technologies and prioritizing both of them. Obviously, it's we have a lot of European input because Europe has been much more advanced in deploying offshore wind technology, both floating and fixed bottom. And so we're learning from them, and we're learning from what our own great minds at the University of Maine are producing. We look forward to the continued relationship with the University of Maine on this because you are at the forefront.
Thank you. Madam Chair, would you mind if I asked one more question? Thank you. You actually anticipated in many ways my next question, and it has to do with advanced composite materials and manufacturing methods, including large-scale additive manufacturing and the manufacturing of bio-based composites, because they really have the potential to revolutionize our manufacturing sector. And I appreciate the fact that there is more than $582 million for advanced manufacturing in the department's budget request. Starting in fiscal year 2019, DOE awarded $20 million in funding to support a truly innovative collaboration between the University of Maine and Oak Ridge National Laboratory. And through this partnership, the University of Maine has secured the world's largest 3D printer and recently printed the world's largest 3D printed boat at 25 feet and 5,000 pounds. They also are working with the Department of Defense to produce vessels that could be used to transport cargo for our armed forces. And this is a very exciting collaboration between one of our national labs and the University of Maine. And the great thing about it is not only does it produce innovation, but it supports job growth in the forest products industry, manufacturing, composites, wind, boat building. Could you discuss how the department plans to maintain and foster these kinds of collaborations between our national labs and universities that will help us maintain America's leadership in advanced manufacturing?
Yes, thank you for that, too. Again, pointing to the University of Maine as leading the way. But the notion that you have a full spectrum, the Oak Ridge National Lab, which has this great expertise in additive manufacturing, and the fact that the university is supplying also next-generation talent. So it's really a full spectrum. And that Oak Ridge also works, it's a facility that works with the private sector as well, having a great manufacturing site there that allows for them to be able to take advantage of their additive manufacturing, their 3D printing machines. I just to link this conversation with the previous question. I'm sorry, we're way over. Testing. Is that better? Maybe. Just to link with the previous, because the 3D printing of wind turbine blades, for example, using bio-based materials, will be able to make sure that the life cycle of wind turbine blades means that it can be recycled eventually. So the combination of all of these technologies is where the DOE sweet spot is, and being able to ensure that next generation students, the STEM students that we need for our labs and for our scientific endeavors, see it in action. And so we're excited about that too.
Thank you very much. Thank you.